Have you ever really stopped to think about what's right under your feet? I mean, not just the sidewalk or the dirt, but what's deep, deep down. Well, it's a whole world made of rock, and every single piece, from a tiny little pebble to a massive mountain, is telling an epic story about our planet's history. So let's become geological detectives. Our first clue? Understanding the very ground we're standing on. Okay, so first, let's zoom all the way out. I want you to think of our planet kind of like a giant soft-boiled egg. Way on the inside, you've got this scorching, hot, partly liquid metal core. Around that, you have the mantle, which is a super deep layer of hot rock that's slowly churning. And us, where we live, we're on the crust, a cool, brittle shell of hardened rock. It really is like the fragile eggshell of our world. You know, every story has its own language, and the story of Earth is written in stone. So if we're going to read it, we need to learn the lingo. Let's start with 4 key words you absolutely need to know. First up, what even is a rock? Well, here's the thing. It's not just one thing. A rock is actually a mixture of different solid chemicals we call minerals, and they're all pressed tightly together, almost like pieces in a super complex puzzle. And if rocks are the puzzle, then minerals, they're the individual pieces. They are the pure fundamental building blocks. These are solids that occur naturally and don't come from living things. We're talking about things like gold, the salt on your kitchen table, or even the tiny little grains of quartz that make up sand. Yep, those are all minerals. So what makes minerals so special? A lot of the time, it comes down to crystals. And a crystal isn't just a pretty shape, it's a sign of perfect order. That beautiful geometric form you see, that comes from a highly organized, repeating arrangement of atoms deep inside, which is what gives each mineral its own unique identity. And finally, we have fossils. These are the ultimate time capsules. A fossil is what's left of a living thing that died maybe millions of years ago. Over these incredible spans of time, minerals seeped in and slowly replaced all the original organic material, preserving a perfect snapshot of ancient life in stone for us to find today. Amazing, right? Okay, now that we've got our key terms down, we can get to the main plot. You see, scientists classify pretty much every rock on Earth into one of 3 great families. And this is the real heart of geology's story: how rocks are born, how they live, and how they are endlessly reborn. First up, igneous rock. This stuff is the bedrock of our planet, making up a whopping 90% of the Earth's crust. Its name actually comes from the Latin word for fire, which is a perfect clue. Just think of fiery volcanoes spewing lava that cools and hardens into new land, or huge chambers of magma cooling down slowly deep underground to form rocks like the granite you see here. Next in the family, we have sedimentary rock. This stuff is like the great archivist of Earth's history. Just imagine sand, mud, even the shells of sea creatures all settling on the seafloor, layer after layer after layer. Over millions of years, the immense weight from above compresses those bottom layers, while minerals seeping through act like glue, cementing it all into solid rock, and often trapping fossils inside. And our third family is metamorphic rock. The name itself means to change form, and that is exactly what happens. This rock gets created when any other kind of rock gets pulled deep underground and subjected to intense heat and pressure. It gets cooked and squashed, but not enough to totally melt. This process forces the minerals inside to realign and recrystallize, which often creates these incredible bands and wavy patterns you see in things like marble. But here's the really cool part. These 3 families aren't separate at all. They're all connected in this vast, slow-moving dance called the rock cycle. It's a truly endless process where any rock can be worn down into sediment, melted back into magma, or squashed and cooked into something completely new over millions and millions of years. All right, that's enough theory for now. You've learned a language, you know the families. Now let's get you out there and make you a real rockhound. Here is your practical guide to finding these geological treasures for yourself. The history of our planet is literally lying around out there, just waiting for you. The only question is, are you ready to start the hunt? Okay, let's gear up. Safety first, always. Sturdy boots are a must for any uneven ground. And hey, if you're anywhere near a cliff or a quarry, a hard hat and goggles are absolutely non-negotiable. Then you've got the essentials: some strong gloves, a bag for your finds, a notepad to write down your locations, and a map. And listen, while you see a geological hammer here, you gotta remember, that is a serious tool, and it's for adult use only. So where do you even go to find these rocks? Well, you're looking for 2 main types of sites. First, you've got outcrops, places like cliffs or road cuts where the deep bedrock is just right there, exposed. Or you can look for deposits. These are places where nature has already done the collecting for you, like beaches, riverbeds, and fields. Both are fantastic hunting grounds. And this is so, so important. Being a good rockhound means being a responsible one. You have to get permission before you go onto any private land. And please follow the collector's code. Collect from loose, fallen rocks, rather than hammering away on a pristine outcrop. The goal is to leave the site just as beautiful as you found it. So, you've had a successful hunt. Your bag is full of muddy, amazing treasures. Now what? Let's talk about how you turn those finds into a collection that you can really be proud of. Turning your finds into a real collection is actually a pretty simple 4-step process. First, clean them. You want to see their true colors and textures. Step 2 is crucial for any scientist. Number each one so it doesn't get mixed up. Third, make an index card for each number. This is like your field journal. Write down what it is and exactly where you found it. Seriously, a rock without its location loses half its story. And finally, display your awesome work. In trays, drawers, hey, even egg cartons work great. Because when it's all said and done, a well-organized, labeled collection is so much more than just a box of rocks. It's a scientific record. It is your own personal museum of discovery. But collecting rocks connects us to something so much bigger. It connects us to the very foundation of human history. From the very first stone tools to our grandest monuments, rocks have always been the building blocks of civilization. I mean, just look at the Great Pyramids. They're built from something called nummulitic limestone, which is a rock made entirely of the fossilized shells of tiny sea creatures that lived 50 million years ago. Just let that sink in. One of humanity's greatest achievements is literally built from ancient life. Or how about Stonehenge? The inner circle is made of a very specific rock called dolerite. And here's the incredible part. The nearest source for that rock is 155 miles away. Can you even imagine the sheer human will it took to drag those massive stones all that way? That's how much rocks have always meant to us. And for just pure breathtaking beauty, look at the Taj Mahal. Its structure is made of this shimmering white marble. That's a metamorphic rock, remember. But it's also inlaid with 28 different types of precious and semi-precious stones. It is the ultimate example of turning geology into world-class art. So from the grandest monuments on Earth to the smallest pebble you can hold in your hand, every single rock has an epic story of fire, pressure, and time just waiting to be read. The only question left is, what story will you discover?